Over 10 years ago, WGBY and its Latino Advisory Board launched the Latino Youth Media Institute, a program for Latino students to learn about different aspects of media production. Vanessa Pabon-Hernandez facilitates the program with her team, and this summer they have the opportunity to work with many young people displaced by Hurricane Maria, guiding them as they created stories about their experience. Producer Alejandro Cameron brings us the story behind the storytellers.
If I had to describe this summer in one word, I would say pa'lante, because I see that our community is moving forward and that we're doing it in a unified way. I think part of my passion of working with young people have been me, myself, growing up in the community, in an underserved community, not having a lot of things. But I think it really came from one of my first jobs of working at a youth program. And that was when I was in my early 20s. And since then, I've always had a passion for working with young people, but also I feel like sometimes they're just not given the opportunity, or a lot of people don't see their talent and they're taken for granted. And for me, I think that working with young people keeps me youthful, but it also helps really create pathway that I didn't have growing up. As I grow in my career path, I want to make sure that I'm bringing the next generation with me. So over the years, we've piloted different variations throughout the summer and the school year of bringing in interns to learn media production. And with this past year having the devastation of Hurricane Maria and what happened in Puerto Rico and the influx of Puerto Ricans moving to the area, we thought that utilizing what we've learned in the past and knowing that we were going to do a summer program anyways, we wanted to create some kind of programming that not only integrated the media skills that students would learn in our internship program, but also to learn more in depth about their history, about their culture, about where they came from. We worked with scholars, a professor from UConn, a professor from UMass, and other community partners in the media outlet to really lay out what the programming would look like.
Going into this, I wouldn't have looked up anything really about my culture that much, but when I went into this, it just showed me how important my culture is and how much it really means to me and to my family and what it means as a whole.
So for 6 intense weeks, we created an outline that really started off with them telling their own personal narratives, and from telling their own personal narratives, finding out what their family's background was and their family's origins, to then go into deep dive of the Puerto Rican community. So one highlight that I have to say was being able to get on a bus early in the morning to New York City and taking them to a Centro of Puerto Rican Studies. And what was really not only having to get on the bus experience for many of them, but going through the whole subway system.
Oh, that was crazy. I remember it was funny because Glorian was behind me and I just hear her scream, and then she pushes back, so that was really funny. I remember meeting a lady that made a documentary of a poet in Brooklyn, and I thought that was amazing. It was so cool to how she made that documentary.
Not having everybody with the same experience is that they get to be their own individual. They get to tell their own story. They get to research and figure out what they're passionate about and what they find that's most interesting. So storytelling to me it's really important, because if we do not own our own stories and share them publicly and tell them, then we're not going to be part of history. And I think we're part of creating that archive. We're part of that. It is our responsibility to share those stories, not only for the next generation, but the people that are surrounding our communities that are not familiar with either our culture or our lifestyle or who we are as individuals. Because I think some people can relate and others can't.